I am so disappointed by Kevin Holland. His performance could have been much better, and if you follow this channel, you know I'm a stickler for tactics. I'm stickler for people fighting where they are the strongest in relation to their opponent's strengths. So Kevin Holland did none of that, and I didn't have a favorite in this fight in terms of me wanting some guy to win. No, not at all. But Kevin Holland did not use his strengths properly. He's a BJJ black belt under Travis Lutter. And for those of you who don't know, Travis Lutter was a guy that was a very good fighter in the UFC back in the day, and he fought with Anderson Silva for the title. So he's a very good. He used to be known as a very good guy on the ground, and he taught Kevin Holland well. But why didn't Kevin Holland use his ground fighting? There was some kind of a gentleman's agreement between those two guys that they wouldn't fight on the ground, only stand up. It boggles the mind. It's so, I have to say, it's stupid. Kevin Holland is far from stupid. He's a very entertaining guy, very funny guy, very interesting character. But this was not a very smart move. And this should serve as a cautionary tale for every competitor or would-be competitor out there. You fight where you're the strongest in relation to your opponent's strength. That's why I love GSP. George St. Pierre was the best. He was a robot, literally a robot who always was thinking in terms of, what's the word, probabilities. Yes, in terms of probabilities. So he was thinking, okay, the first 10 seconds I should do this, the next 10 seconds I should do that, or the first minute I should do this. He's the guy that won, that defeated Josh Koscheck by a jab. He jabbed him the entire time. Maybe he had a few takedowns, but mostly jab. He was mostly jabbing Josh Koscheck. Won the fight. Other fights he won in a different way. So he calculated where he is the strongest in relation to his opponent, and he pursued those techniques only. That's what you do when you're a professional. This was not professional. Wonder Boy wanted this fight. He said it himself. I perform the best when you give me a striker. Which I also have a problem with, because you're not in a striking sport. You should learn everything. And I'm sure he does. He's a great guy. I like him a lot. Not only his technique, but his personality as well. He is great. I like both guys, by the way. But something was lacking here. I wasn't enjoying the fight, because I don't enjoy fights where two guys beat each other up senseless. And that's what happened. Wonder Boy got some damage too. And Kevin Holland, I think he broke his right hand in the first round, but he still performed very well in the second round. I think in the third too. Then he started tapering off. I mean, he took him down twice and stood back up. Why? I don't understand. This is MMA. You have ground fighting, you have wrestling, you have striking. They were talking about wanting to prove which is a better style, Kung Fu or Karate. What nonsense! I mean, when you go into MMA, most of the guys that go into MMA have some kind of a background. Maybe a striking background, wrestling background, whatever. But don't get hung up on it. Don't make it your identity. Oh, I'm a striker, therefore I must strike. No, in the beginning, yes, you will be better at striking, of course, or you will be better at striking in general throughout your entire career. But you have to learn other things, and not only learn, you have to use them accordingly. Israel Adesanya comes to mind. Yes, he's primarily a striker, but when he fought Pereira, which he lost this fight, unfortunately for him, he did utilize ground fighting, and in that I think it was the fourth round. He utilized, or the third, sorry, he utilized a lot of ground fighting to his advantage, and he depleted Pereira's energy levels a lot with his ground fighting. You can check out my review of that fight over here. And unfortunately for him, he didn't win that fight, but he put his ground fighting to good use. He should have wrestled more, of course, but that's another issue. Why did Kevin Holland not wrestle more? Why didn't he take advantage? Kevin Holland defeated Jacare from his back with an up kick. No, it was not an up kick. Sorry, it was a hook. It was a hook from his back. Jacare was one of the best ground fighters in the world. So I just can't understand this. MMA is a sport that's dangerous enough as it is. You don't need to make it even more dangerous by sticking to striking only or some other tactic only that does not serve you. I can understand if he calculated, okay, Wonderboy has a striking on a scale from 1 to 10, his striking is 6 and mine is 8. Okay, that's an acceptable risk. I could understand that, but that was not the case. That was not the case. Having said that, Kevin Holland did impress me with striking. That reach really helped. That's what Wonderboy said as well. It was much easier for him to reach Wonderboy than for Wonderboy to reach him. So Wonderboy had to skip in and out of the distance and use his timing. Yeah, that's true. That's all true. But Kevin Holland did a great job. It should have been even better with him using the opportunities. He had 2 opportunities. He took Wonderboy twice. He just got up. Yeah, just got up. Let's fight. I promised you we will not fight on the ground. Let's fight. And what was the aftermath? He ended up with a broken hand. He probably broke it on Wonderboy's head, but we don't know for sure. Maybe it was him blocking Wonderboy's high kicks. We're not sure, but even if he broke it in the first round, he could have finished the fight while it was still warm and choke him out or something. Or at least the probability of him winning would be much greater if he followed through on the ground. So yeah, I'm disappointed, and I hope this serves as a lesson to all the upcoming fighters and fighters too. Use your brain to entertain. Look, many fighters say, "Oh, let's give fans a great fight." That's so stupid. You're not fighting for the fans. Some fighters say, "Oh, we're fighting for the fans." No, you're not. You're fighting for yourself and for your families. And the best way to make money is not only to have interesting fights, it's to win. It's to keep on winning. Chael Sonnen said it in his video about Kevin Holland as well. And he's completely right. You have to win. Now, we have to take into consideration that UFC sometimes nudges fighters towards a certain style. And Wonderboy said it himself. I think he said that in his 3rd fight, he took some guy down, and some officials from the UFC told him that he should not forget what brought him to the dance, meaning karate brought him to the UFC and his good striking ability. So he took the hint and didn't try to wrestle that much anymore. So I can understand that, even though I don't like it. Fighters should be free to fight in any way they want to fight. And Colby Covington also said that he was about to get dropped from the UFC roster, even though he was winning fights, but I guess they thought he was winning in a boring fashion. So that was when he introduced his current character that he's playing, the bad guy. So yeah, why am I telling you this? Because I'm telling you this because yes, we should also take into account that UFC brass wants to see entertaining fights, but it still doesn't guarantee. You can have entertaining fights and then you lose a fight, and then you're not ranked so well anymore. It's a tricky thing, but I still think your best bet is to go for wins. Go for wins in the safest possible way for you, in the way that gives you the most probability for victory. And if the UFC doesn't want you, you have ONE FC, you have Bellator, you have PLF. Is it PLF, where it's $1 million prize money? I think it is. So you have others too, and where you can make good money. So I think the victory is most important. You should of course be an entertaining fighter, but not at the expense of actually winning. So yeah, I'm very disappointed by Kevin Holland. I like him a lot as a fighter. When I saw him fight Jacare, I was so impressed. I don't like the talking part. It's not my cup of tea, but still, I cannot take anything away from him when it comes to his skills. He's a very, very good fighter. And I look forward to seeing him again. I hope he does not make the same mistake again. And what do you think? If he fought differently, if he pursued a fight on the ground, would he win against Wonderboy? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, like it and share it. And you can also subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to take your MMA training further, check out my free course called 6 Cardinal Sins of MMA Training. My name is Mark Leichner, and I will see you again very soon.